congratulate you on your election. Policies that you pursued, I think they're excellent, and I greatly appreciate them. But I have an observation, and something that's stuck in my craw for quite some time. A couple of years ago, I retired. I was a certified financial planner. Before that, I bought real estate. Before that, I was a jet aircraft mechanic. Before that, I was a professional court stenographer. I've done a lot of things in my past. But I'm here to tell you, I never went to college. I left high school, joined the Navy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I built a life for myself based on the American ideal premise, sort of the Horatio Alger, that I guess I'm in a minority of the folks in this room. I'm still a great believer in the entrepreneurial spirit in America and the ability that America gives us each the opportunity. It doesn't give us a guarantee of security or anything like that. It gives us an opportunity to make the most of each of our lives. And I've been very greatly disturbed to hear the demagoguery that's happening in Washington, D.C., particularly by Mr. Obama, describing anybody who makes $200,000, $250,000 as somehow not paying their fair share.
They don't.
They
pay 3 times more than they do.
May I finish, please?
I would ask that for everybody who speaks there. Everyone should get their opportunities.
In the 25 years I spent as a certified financial planner, I also worked in investment banking and pension business and a lot of other businesses that have to do with finance. I can tell you I had a lot of clients. Most of them didn't make over $250,000. Some of them did. And I worked with ordinary individuals who wanted to put a few $1,000s in their IRA and learn other ways to save for their own future. But it seems that America has a concept of somebody who makes $200,000 and owns a small business that's totally unjustified and unrealistic. Most of these owners, this includes myself and my own personal history, didn't get there because we started on third base. Most of those individuals did something extraordinary. They paid for their own college, they joined the service, they somehow pulled themselves up by their bootstrap, or they had help, or they had a mentor. But they spent 40 hours a week? No, none that I've ever met spent 40 hours a week. They spent 60 hours a week. They spent 80 hours a week. They mortgaged their homes. They signed personally for all of the debt in order to open up a business and start a business. A lot of them went bankrupt the first time or two that they did it. Why are we demagoguing individuals that work so hard, that represent the backbone and the very ideals of this country? I think most people do not understand what it takes to get to the point where you get to contribute a large portion, and they do, contribute a large portion of the taxes to support this country and all of these social programs. I understand that people are disappointed if social programs don't provide them with all that they want. But demagoguing people who have attained some degree of success, I think, is a poor example.
You know, I thank you for your comment. You know, I happen to be the first in my family to go to college. My folks went to what was then referred to as business school, which is not business school as we know it today. They went to, for lack of a better term, a trade school. And they were court stenographers. They took a lot of risks to create their business. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that they provided me and my brother and my sister. And I was the first to go to college. I was the first to go to get an advanced degree. And I'm proud of that. And I believe that in our country, anybody who wants that opportunity can have that opportunity. To be an innovator, to be an entrepreneur, to take risks, I think is what's great about this country. And I can give you examples of, you know, both Republicans and Democrats who are success stories because they had the opportunity to take that risk. And I do believe that that is the America that we should strive for. But, you know, the frustration that I have, and I think a lot of people have, beyond the differences of the public policy positions that we have, is that I think we can do better in this country than what we're getting right now. You know, I've been in Congress for 7 months. There's a lot of heated and emotional debate on public policy, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay for us to have a dialogue on public policy. But I do think that we can respect one another, whether it's here, whether it's in Washington, and have a civil discourse and try to, at the end of the day, let the debate have a vote, and that becomes the policy moving forward. And if we don't like it, we always, in our country, have an opportunity to change that. Now, I've had an opportunity to meet with the President a couple of times now. And I've said to him, and I've said to every member of Congress that I meet on the floor of the House, and I go and I introduce myself to Republicans, I introduce myself to Democrats. And I say, I'll work with anybody on anything to make sure we move this country forward. Now, we're not going to agree on everything. But, you know, the most important piece of legislation to people on the seacoast that I filed so far is on fisheries issues, and I've done that with Barney Frank. And I believe there's an opportunity where people of different ideology can find common ground and do something that improves the opportunity that we have here in our country. And I would like to see that spirit. I respect the fact that we have differences of opinion. That's not going to stop me from coming to town hall meetings or listening to you. And I got to tell you, I mean, I learned this over the 4 years I served as mayor. You can get ideas that you didn't think of from people who have a different perspective. And that's one of the reasons that it's important for us to have a level of communication. I'm not going to make everybody happy. I understand. But what I do want to do is make sure that I'm as accessible as I possibly can be to everybody, regardless of the positions that we hold. And all I ask is that we try to move this country forward in a manner in which that we respect one another and the principles of our country.